What up, what up, what up? How are y'all doing? I'm doing great as usual. Sunday, day after boxing in the USA. Before I get started, I'd like to give a shout out to Real Talk Boxing. He's been a big supporter of mine. We comment back and forth, and he's just a good dude. So, for whatever reason you tune in to me and you do not know about Real Talk Boxing, which I find it hard to believe. But in any case, if that is true, go check out Real Talk Boxing, like and subscribe to his channel. He's a real dude and he loves boxing just like myself. And I also want to give a shout out to the Boxing Voice and the whole Boxing Voice family for having me on. And hopefully I'll link up with them again real soon. And make sure you go check them out. The Boxing Voice. Like and subscribe to their channel. So, what a night in boxing for Top Rank and Showtime. More so Top Rank. But before I get started, I have to let you know that me being a bonehead, I was watching the Robert Easter fight, and what do you know? I passed out. Now, I usually stay up really late, so why did I pass out? Well, because the fight was just that, boring. Put me to sleep. And I'm very upset because I woke up at 1:30 a.m. And what does that mean? That means I missed the one fight that I really wanted to see. Oscar Valdez against Burchell. So when I woke up and I cleared my head and I realized what time it was, I said, shit. So I refreshed my computer screen, and the first thing that pops up is Knockout of the Year with Oscar Valdez celebrating. So now I was like, shit. I missed the fight, but not only that, I know the outcome. But I thought it said in the fourth round. So I said, okay, I know the outcome, but let me just watch the fight. So I found the replay of the fight, and I started watching it. And a couple notes that I taken during the fight. When I actually found the replay and started watching it, in the very first round, I noticed Valdez backing up Burchell. I was thinking, what the heck's going on here? On the Boxing Voice, I predicted that Burchell would just walk him forward. But as the second round started, I don't know if Burchell just woke up and realized he was in a fight. He started fighting like he normally does. And also on the let me just state this too. I was wrong about this fight. I thought that Burchell would win in the 10th, 11th, or 12th round. I thought he would be just too much for Valdez, and eventually he would catch him, walk him down, and eventually stop him. How wrong was I? So, I think in the fourth round, Valdez caught Burchell, knocked him down, and it took a couple rounds for Burchell to get his senses back, because he just looked horrible after he got knocked down the first time. He was unsteady on his legs. He kept saying, he hit me behind the head. But nonetheless, he got out of the fourth round. And I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute. I just woke up. I just refreshed my YouTube page. I thought it said Valdez wins with knockout of the year in the fourth round. But we're going into the 5th round. So then I started thinking in my own head, maybe that was an old clip for some reason. Maybe they were just saying, maybe it was a previous fight. So then I was actually getting my hopes up and say, wow, maybe I don't know the outcome of this fight. Because I thought he clearly was going to win in the 4th round. But he just knocked him down in the 4th round. So as the fight was going on, Burchelt took a couple rounds to get his feet back under him. And in the 6th and the 7th, it was very clear to me that Oscar Valdez was a little bit shooken up by the fact that Burchelt regained whatever senses he needed to, and Burchelt was just steam forward straight ahead. And Valdez was backing up, get to the ropes, tie up. Now, I don't know if he was doing this because he was running out of gas. I don't know the reason. But as the fight was happening, I wrote down in my notes, every time Valdez would clinch him, Burchelt would just hold up one or both of his arms and look at the ref. And the referee would come and separate him. And he kept doing this for 2 rounds. You know, he'd back Valdez up to the ropes. Valdez would come in, clinch, and then he'd hold his hands up, and the referee would separate him. Why not work on the inside? You know, because he keeps doing it over and over and over again to you for 2 or 3 rounds, you know once you get him up against the ropes and you stop punching, he's going to hold you. Why not work on the inside? You just hold your hands up and get separated. Work on the inside. You know, tire him out. Maybe Burchelt didn't have the energy to wrestle and fight on the inside. I don't know. But I thought that was very strange that he just wasn't putting on any effort whatsoever on the inside. So, yeah. One thing that I was thinking about as the fight was going on, after Burchelt got knocked down in the 4th, yes, it was on top of the head, but I don't think Valdez is that big of a puncher, and Burchelt is known to just take punches. And according to ESPN, Burchelt has the 8th worst defense in all of boxing. Not his division, all of boxing. So he's used to taking punches. So my question is, does Valdez hit that hard, or is the weight starting to become an issue for Burchelt as far as cutting weight to make weight? Burchelt put on 16 pounds after the weigh-in in less than 24 hours. Or the day after the weigh-in, he put on 16 pounds. And as I was writing this down, I swear to God, I was writing it down, either Andre Ward or Timothy Bradley stated that on the program, on the broadcast. They thought the same thing. Is he weight drained? Is that why he couldn't recover for 2 rounds? Is that why he was all over the place? Did he have a tough weight cut? Or does Valdez just hit that hard? That's what was going through my head. And in between rounds, Burchelt's corner was like, don't worry, we're going to catch up to him. We're going to stop him in the later rounds, just like I predicted. And I thought, yep, it's going to happen. Because 6, 7, 8 or 7, 8, 9, Valdez was on his bike and he was moving. He'd pop shot him and get out of the corner. Or if he couldn't get out of the corner, he'd grab, like I was saying. And Burchelt just wouldn't work on the inside, holding his hands up, wait to get separated. And yeah, my notes right here. Round 6 and 7, Valdez looked lost, and he's running. In a round 8, for some reason, it wasn't a push down, it wasn't a trip. They were kind of in a clinch, and Valdez just went to one knee. And I put just fell to the floor from fatigue, from all the running he was doing. I'm not saying he was running like he was scared. He was scared to fight. No, I'm saying he was running because he was out of ideas. The pressure Burchelt was putting on him. I think he got buzzed a couple times too. Like I think he was running out of ideas. So, did Valdez win this fight by spectacular knockout, or did Eddie Reynoso win this fight for Valdez? Because when he came back out in the 10th round, I don't know what Eddie Reynoso told him. I don't know if he did tell him anything. This is just my guess. I think Eddie Reynoso looked at his fighter and said, well, if Oscar Valdez keeps fighting like this, he's not going to make it 12 rounds. Eventually, Burchelt will catch him. So I think Eddie Reynoso, with all of his experience, coach of the year, all that, I think he probably told Valdez straight up, hey, it's a 10th round. You're going to have to stand and fight this guy. And in the 10th round, he dropped him. He gets back up. Valdez drops Burchelt. He gets back up. And like 20 seconds left, Burchelt, just get back to the corner. You'll be fine. And like a NBA buzzer beater, boom, right as the 10th round bell rang. Out cold, knockout of the year. It's crazy, 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 crazy. I thought it was going to be the other way around, but no, Oscar Valdez surprised me. He looked in trouble, like I said, midway through the fight, after the first knockdown of Burchelt. It looked like he was running out of answers. And I don't know if he just said screw it in his own mind, or Eddie Reynoso was telling him, hey, backing up and holding and spinning out and pop-shotting him once or twice ain't going to stop this guy. He's a tank. So a couple questions I get from the fight is Burchelt too big for this weight class now? Does he got to move up to 135? There's plenty of fights at 135, as we all know. You got 5 studs in that division. So Burchelt can move up. He can move up and fight Lomer at 135. They're both coming off a loss. They're both under ESPN, I believe. So that's a fight that could happen. Burchelt could fight Haney. I doubt he'd fight Teofimo because Teofimo's looking to fight his mandatory. Gambosos. But, so that's my first question. Where does Burchelt go? Does he move up a weight class? Does he stay in the weight class? Does he try to get a rematch? We all know that Bob Arum doesn't like putting rematches in contracts, but, it was a good fight. That could be an option. I'm not sure. Does Oscar Valdez carry that much power? Or was Burchelt weight drained? Did Oscar Valdez win this fight because of Eddie Reynoso in his corner? I got a lot of questions. But nonetheless, it was a great fight. If you guys have not seen that fight, try to find a replay of it somewhere. Maybe it's on ESPN Plus archives. I'm not sure. But yes, it was a great fight. And earlier that night, we had Falcao versus Akavov. Falcao was a RGBA fighter, Robert Garcia fighter. He stopped his opponent after the 4th round, in between rounds, with a broken nose. Gabriel Flores had a knockout of his opponent. He's a 19-0 kid. Looks like big things are coming his way. And all in all, ESPN had a great card. I had to look back on it because, like I said, the Easter Junior fight put me to sleep. And I'm kind of glad it did because when I woke up and after rewatching some of the fights from the ESPN card that I missed, I went on Twitter, and of course, Adrian Broner is such a polarizing figure in the world of boxing that everybody was commenting on Twitter about his fight. And they pretty much said it was typical Adrian Broner. He hasn't changed any in the last 2 years. That last time we saw him fight, he didn't throw many punches. And in fact, according to 95% of the comments I saw on Twitter, Santiago, Adrian Broner's opponent, got robbed. So, typical Adrian Broner. Robert Easter Jr. just went the distance, got the decision. And then Otto Weiland versus Dominic Brazil. Ordinary fight. Otto Weiland stayed on the outside, just picked him apart, went the distance, got the decision. So, out of all three fight companies this weekend, Matchroom, PBC, Top Rank, who would have thought that PBC would have had the worst card out of all three of them? And it sucks because I want the PBC to do good. I don't want them to go anywhere. I want them to compete. But like the video I did yesterday, we have to stop having fights with a huge name like Adrian Broner and a no name like his opponent, and we already know the outcome. But on top of that, the shitty part, we thought we would have known the outcome, and Santiago really won, according to 95% of Twitter, but Adrian Broner still got the decision. So that turns people off, man. Nobody wants to see that shit. At all. At all. And Otto Weiland, Brazil, that was a closer fight, but most people thought Otto Weiland would win, and that's what happened. Robert Easter Jr., he was like a minus 1,110 favorite. Who wants to turn that shit on and watch it? Especially when you have a competing card going on at the same time. So, my takeaways from the weekend was a weekend of great boxing. Matchroom and Top Rank obviously had the better cards. PBC needs to really figure out what they're doing as far as matchmaking. And we'll see what happens next. But do me a favor, like I said, for some reason, if you tuned into me and you don't know Real Talk Boxing YouTube channel, go see him, like and subscribe to his channel. Also, you can probably catch me on the Boxing Voice sometime this week coming up, whenever I can jump in because of my work schedule. And if you don't know what their channel's all about, boxing podcast. Sometimes I pop in, sometimes I can't. But also go subscribe to them. And we'll catch up with you soon. And it's Moore's House. Peace. Like, subscribe, share. Help a brother out.